Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing good. Well, in today's session of IELTS, I'll be talking about the reading module, and today I'm going to help you with the fill in the blanks. So I'm going to give you certain tips that will really help you to solve this question type. So let's get started. So before we start solving the fill in the blanks, we need to keep certain things in mind, students. First of all, always remember that the answers of fill in the blanks are arranged most likely in order. When I say most likely, I mean 99.9% cases, the answers are arranged in order, which means one after the other. Okay, so keep this thing in mind when you're solving fill in the blanks. Okay, then the answers may be just in one paragraph only, or the answers may be in more than one paragraph. It could be two paragraphs, three paragraphs, four paragraphs. Okay, so it could be merely in one paragraph, or the answers could be dispersed in more than one paragraphs. That's a different thing. Okay, but answers are arranged in order. Could be in one paragraph, could be in several paragraphs. Okay, then always keep in mind the always read the instruction. Very important, because sometimes what happen, you're very close to the answer, but sorry, you're very close to, you're reading at the right location, you're reading, you've got the answers also, but since you have not read the instruction properly, you happen to write three words or four words, and then what happens, obviously you will not get bans for it. Okay, because you're not supposed to exceed more than given words. So here you're not supposed to exceed more than two words. So your answers could be in one word or two words, but not beyond that. Also, sometimes instructions are given that for question number from one for questions from 10 to 13, you have to read in A and B paragraph, or from A to C paragraph. But often we miss out on the instruction part, and what we do, we keep on reading. So, due to this, we read irrelevant information. Okay, so always read the instruction. Then, I generally don't recommend my students to underline. Okay, because underlining each and every word is not important. Okay, and since you actually don't know what are important words or keywords, you tend up underlining each and every word, whichever stands out, okay, in your perception. So in that process, you keep on underlining each and every word, and you just waste your time. So yes, I have a different strategy, that there is no need to underline any word. Okay. However, if you're uncomfortable without underlining the words and finding the answer, then yes, you can certainly go ahead, no problem. Okay, but more than underlining the words, what is what is more important is you identify the right keyword. Okay, now what are basically keywords? Keywords are those words which either don't have any synonym, or if they have, then synonyms are restricted to just two or three words, not beyond that. There are maybe two or three alternatives to that particular word, but not beyond that. Okay, and obviously those words which are in inverted commas or italic, or words which carry different font, can also be synonyms. Okay, so like what I've done, I've highlighted the keyword which I feel don't have any alternative, or which have limited alternatives. Okay, means those words will directly come in the paragraph as they are there in the question. Okay, now in the 10th question, what I feel envelope is the keyword. Okay, Then in 11th question, propulsion system is the keyword, because for other words I can definitely have several synonyms. But for these two words I might not have any synonym. Okay, so the words will appear as it is in the paragraph also. Okay, so in my perception these are keywords. Then in the 12th question the keyword is basket grip. Okay, well in 13th question I don't see any keyword, so I haven't underlined or highlighted any word. Okay, so yes, always identify the right keyword. Just don't keep underlining because somebody has instructed you to do that. Use your own brain. Think, you know, I mean, use your logic. Then, while solving the blanks, what you also need to keep in mind, while reading the question, you need to keep in mind that what's the actual demand of the question. Means, is it asking for noun, pronoun, adverb, verb, singular, plural? You know, very, very important. Because a lot of time, what I've seen, students are at the right location. Okay, they're reading the lines also where the answer lies, but still they, get wrong answer. They choose wrong answer. Why? Because students generally fail to understand the demand of the question. So it's very, very important you understand this aspect. Okay, so let's start reading, students. So the 10th question is, a dry envelope helps to stop the growth of dash on the material. A dry envelope means an envelope which is not wet. Okay, it is without moisture, and it is helping, or it helps to stop the growth of dash on the material. The material can be, could be any material. It could be your book, or maybe pencil, cupboard, anything material. Any non-living thing is a material. Okay, and it helps to stop the growth of dash. So something is growing on the material. Okay, so what will grow on the material? Adverb, obviously not. Verb, obviously not. Okay, so something is growing on the material. That means answer has to be noun. Okay, so let's start reading. To ensure balloon longevity and safety in operation, hot air balloons must be maintained and repaired while not in use. So these two lines, I mean, it's not making any sense. So I can just skip these two lines and read ahead. Keeping the envelope, yes. Now from here, from this line onward, I need to be really careful what I'm reading and whether it's making sense or not. Keeping the envelope clean, that means it should be clean without any dust and dirt, and dehumidified. Humid means something that carries moisture or has moisture. But when I say dehumidified, it means that the envelope is without water, it is not wet, it is without moisture, it is not damp, it's dry. Okay, so the envelope is dry, and it is important step. Okay, so important I can say maybe help, because something that is helping is important. Okay, to stop means to prevent. Here, prevent, stop. Okay, forming is growth, but what is forming? Mold is forming. So it is preventing the mold from forming. So mold is growing. Where it is growing? On a particular thing. So on the fabric. Your fabric is material. Okay. So my answer is mold. Now let's read the next line. This is. Now what is this is? This is means it's talking about the information given in the previous line. This is specially important. Okay, that means keeping the envelope clean and dehumidified is especially important if the balloon has landed, okay, in a wet or a muddy environment. So obviously you need to clean it and you need to get rid of the moisture. So that means you need to dry it. Okay, so my 10th answer is mold. Now it's clear. Let's read the next line, the next question. Frequent. Frequent means something that you have to do, time and again or on regular basis. So always keep the possible synonyms in mind, students, before you read the paragraph. Okay. So frequent dash is important. Frequent what is important? Fixing or changing faulty parts of the propulsion system when necessary. Okay. So frequent dash is important, means of fixing and changing faulty parts. Faulty means something that is broken or not working properly. Of what? Of propulsion system, as and when required. So frequent what is important basically. The burner and the fuel system also requires regular means frequent. Regular what? Maintenance. This means regular maintenance. This can involve the replacement. Okay, replacement means changing, or repair means fixing, of damaged means faulty, parts means hoses means pipe, and any sticking traction upon landing. So what regular or frequent is required? Maintenance. Rest of the information, fixing, uh, that's fixing here is repair, replacement is changing, faulty is damaged. That information is already given. Okay, so basically, my answer, I have to look for the word frequent or its synonyms. So frequent, the synonym of frequent is regular. So frequent, what is required or important? Maintenance. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Dash help the basket grip the ground when it sets down. So what is helping? Again, a noun is helping. Okay, dash is helping the basket grip. Something is helping the basket grip the ground. Okay, when it sets down. Okay, so what is helping the basket to have the grip of the ground when it comes down? Okay, when it lands on the ground. My answer to the 12th question is plural. Why? Because if you go as per the rule of present indefinite tense, then singular goes with plural and plural goes with singular. So help is singular. That means my answer to the 12th question is plural. So let's read ahead. The wicker basket. The wicker basket, well, basket is already there. So the wicker basket has something. What does it have? The wicker basket has skids. Skids, where does it have? On its bottom. So wicker basket is already there. So if I write wicker basket or if I write wicker, I mean obviously it's not making any sense because that wicker is already there and my answer is plural. So wicker basket has something. It has skids. Okay, on its bottom, and the skid is helping to gain. Okay, traction upon landing. Basically, it's pulling the balloon towards the ground. So what is helping the balloon? Okay, basically, okay, to have a grip on the of the ground, skids, and skids is plural. Skids, it is the part of the wicker basket, and this is helping the balloon to have the grip of the ground when it sets down. So my answer to the 12th question is skids. Okay. 13. Balloons must be checked annually, means on annual basis, every year, yearly basis, according to what? As per what? Okay. So balloons must be checked. It's a compulsion. Balloons must be checked annually according to what? According to rules and regulations. According to what? According to, uh, means it could be anything, right? So according to what? Let's understand. Okay, traction upon landing. Over time, these are worn down and will need to be replaced. Okay, this information is over. International regulations. International regulations stipulate that balloons must be given a full inspection or must be given. So what is stipulating? That balloons must be given a full inspection. That means inspection means check. Okay, every 100 flight hours or 12 months. Okay, so 100 flight hours or 12 months. So 12 months is annually. Okay, checked is inspection, must is already there, balloons is already there, but according to what they must be checked. So international regulations stipulate that balloons must be given a full inspection. Okay, so as per international regulations, balloons must be given a full inspection, that is checking every 100 flight hours or 12 months. That's 1 year. So my answer to the 13th question is international regulations. Okay. So in this way, students, you need to understand the demand of the question. Okay, and always keep the grammar aspect in mind while solving reading listening module, very very important. Okay, so I hope this video was useful. Okay, so in this way you can solve fill in the blanks questions without much difficulty. Okay, in case you like this video, then do subscribe and hit the bell button. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and all the best.